Hello, guys. Welcome to another live session. I hope everyone had a great weekend, enjoyed your time with family or friends, or did something that you love to do. And here we are for another week. Um, a week that we can expect some moves in the market. A little bit more than last week, but last week has been very interesting, especially the end, the last 2 days, 3 days, Wednesday to Friday. Those days were quite good. We saw, just a reminder here, we saw the dollar, squeezing a little bit higher here. Got some people shorting, stop them out, and here we are. Um, Having a good correction here today, but we're still above a key level which served as resistance, now support. But um, here we are, and we need to get prepared because I think this week, because of the data that we have during the week, I think we can see good moves. So today we had some PCE, um, not good data. We saw the personal spending decreasing to 0.1. Expected was around 0.3. We saw the personal income as well, reducing to zero point 0.1, and but the personal spending month over month, we saw a little bit increase there, but that was not enough to push the dollar to the upside, and that's why we are seeing some moves here today. But for the rest of the week, we have interesting data to watch out. We need to keep an eye, very close eye on the GDP that we have tomorrow from the Eurozone. Will be very interesting to see how the growth rate it's performing here in Europe. Also Italian GDP, that's very interesting to watch as well. Not a very market mover, but very interesting to know, especially as well the German data. Okay, inflation rates, very interesting to watch as well. And then on Wednesday we have the ISM, okay, PMI, and then the Fed interest rate. Okay, those two data will be very interesting to watch on the Wednesday. Um, the rest not so much as a market mover, but it's going to be very interesting. Keep an eye, and also note that the market is not expecting not a increase and also not a hike. Okay, so the market expect the Fed to not change, so to remain the interest rate to be continue to be at 2.5. Okay. Um, on Thursday, we have some PMI from some countries here in Europe, and the Bank of England. Okay, Bank of England as well, the same thing. Not expect to change nothing. Okay, they always come out and say that Brexit is still a high risk, but at the same time they don't know what to expect. But they are monitoring the market. They'll keep an eye on the market and see what's going to happen. But I don't think it's going to be a huge market mover anyway. But keep an eye on these votes here. Okay, if any change some votes, every time one at least move from unchanged to cut or hike, we can see a little bit bigger move. So let's see if that changes. I don't think it will, but you know, who knows? And then on Friday we have the NFP and unemployment data from the U.S., because by then it's going to be the first Friday of the month of May. So that's why we're having this data here. So a very, very important week ahead of us regarding news and data and everything else. So um, um, let's watch the market here. And last week, okay, going to keeping an eye on how we closed last week was very interesting, right? We saw last week candle here closing very green above all these three important highs here on the dollar index. And if you see the daily candles here, you can see that Friday we close here, not not having a big candle, but still remaining here on the top side of the dollar. And going forward, guys, I think that we are in a breakout um, mode here in the dollar. But something that you don't want to see is this here, you know, breaking and the market closing below this blue line here, guys. Okay, this is the level that the market held three times, and we might as well, find support here, have a really good retest before a good bounce. Who knows? But this level here is good because we can use as risk. So 97.69 is the level to watch on the dollar index. Okay, going to a busy week. Going through the euro dollar here, same thing, pretty much very similar to the dollar index, right? We closed last week. If I go to the weekly chart here, we saw a big red candle here closing to new lows, and here we are. So the euro now is popping to this zone that we it found support, but I don't want to see the euro, guys, you know, going above and close, okay, above this yellow line here. If that happens, I don't think it's gonna look that good. Um, um, it's not gonna look so bearish. So you don't want to see the euro, closing above 1192, or we might tell, we might say 112 is the level to watch here on the euro dollar, in my view. Which, if I go to the 4 hour chart in more detail, you can see here it's a big zone, right? We are here pretty much testing right now the euro dollar. But one thing is to keep in mind, this might be as well a bearish flag, isn't it? You have to keep an eye here on the euro right now. It might be, it's too late, but one thing that you have to watch is what if the market held here during Asia session and then tomorrow we start cracking this lower? It's gonna look very good, but repeating again, you don't want to see a move above and close, especially close, guys, okay, above 112, because there is a chance as well for the market, just to stop some people out, and then, we close like here again in the end of the day. You don't want to see that happen because that's going to look very bearish as well. So it's all about the close here. You don't want to see a close above 112, 1192 or so, okay, on the euro dollar. But for me, it's still looking bearish here so far, okay. We still as well remaining below the 38.2 Fibonacci, which, when we have a strong trend, the market wants to correct. This fib is the fib that the market, n- a lot of the time touch and then continues with the trend. So who knows, tomorrow we touch this fib and then reverse, okay? That's something to keep in mind. The cable as well, looking very bearish. Keep in mind that we had this kind of a triangle. So this 130, 129.80 level, somewhere here, guys, it's very key for the pounds. You don't want to see, the pound closing above, because if that is the case, this might as well look like a forced breakout, isn't it? It's going to look like a forced breakout if we close like here. So you don't want to see this happening, in my eyes. So every move, any move that, until we are below here, you must look for shorting this market, because this is very clear a triangle which broke out, here, and we still bearish, we still below, okay, in the cable. And on the weekly chart here, maybe we broke a channel, who knows. Not a bearish flag, it's just a channel, just because bearish flags, guys, in my eyes, like, I take this very serious, because the problem I have is I see so many people looking everything as a bearish or bullish flag. It's not that easy, okay? It's a formation that it needs specific moves to be a flag. So a flag needs to be very aggressive, strong trend. In this case, we did head until here, and then we had a quite a good correction before going lower and then make this kind of a channel. So for me, this here is not good move to see in a flag. So for me, it's just a channel, not a bearish flag. Okay, you need to see a strong trend prior to the flag. So if this was a flag, it should be like here, something like that, you know. But anyway, that's the cable for me, but it's still bearish overall. We don't want to see a move, like I said, above 130. You don't want to see that happening. But below, while we were remaining here, it looks like a bearish cable. And talking about bearish flag might be like I don't know, maybe a bearish flag here on the 4 hour, something like that. It might be, right? Very strong trend, like I said, very strong trend. Correction, might be lower. I don't know. But overall, if even if this is not a bearish flag, still remaining bearish in my eyes. Okay, dollar yen. This is a market that I don't see anything interesting overall. I'm quite surprised dollar yen still here, to be honest with you, because dollar is strong. Equities are at new time highs. S&P. Very interesting to see dollar yen here. So very confusing. But at some point, this is going to stop moving. I don't know what direction it's going to do it, but it's going to move. And I don't know what to do because if I was short, I would probably be happy because knowing that strong dollar, strong equities, this is not moving higher, made me happy. And who's long? It's probably eating their nails because they are asking themselves why this is not moving higher. But at the same time, this can catch up. You know, there are some catch up moves in the market sometimes. So I'm not too sure. I recommend anyone to be like away from this market. If only if you see something different that I don't see, maybe maybe you have some other ideas. But for me, like I don't see anything interesting here, to be honest. On the dollar yen, in my view, I think it's very confusing. So I just want to minimize risks in my trading. So this one would be probably out of my trading list or watch list for this week. Okay, until we find something more clear um, to be, involved in here. But while we are here, not doing anything, for me, it's nothing here special. Okay. Dollar Canadian. This one I'm long. Okay, I'm long because of different reasons. Number one, this was not moving lower while oil was making new highs a few days ago, right? I told you guys in the chat room. Um, while oil was squeezing higher here, dollar Canadian was not making a new low. But now you might ask me, okay, oil is moving lower, so why dollar Canadian is not at the highs? I think it's because of the dollar. I really do. It's not going to be like always that, very that simple and straightforward. But I think it's because of the dollar. Dollar Canadian is taking a little bit longer to go higher. But going last week, we closed quite green above all these candles at the weeks here that we had a few weeks ago, and on the daily, looks like we had a quite atypical triangle, right? Um, in my eyes, I think it does look like a triangle, and the 4 hour for me is even more interesting. Same triangle we have here, and now this looks like a bullish flag, isn't it? It does look bullish flag. And something very interesting for me here is that one of the rules of a bull flag is that you don't want to see a very long flag like this part here. You don't want to see, being here forever. You don't want to see the market doing this, and then break because that's too long. And the other thing is don't want to see being more than 50% of the trend move. So if you put a fib from here to here and the 50% is here. So this here is the invalidation level that we can use as to cancel this flag. And in my eyes is that if we move inside of the triangle again, I think we can have maybe it's gonna be a false breakout. Okay, why I'm saying maybe is because this 134 was also huge before, isn't it? We had, many tests, and when we broke for real. So I'm not 100% this here is gonna hold, but one thing I can tell you is that I'm gonna use this level as my risk because I don't want to hold this any longer than that. To be honest, maybe I'm gonna be wrong. Maybe the market goes to 34 and then bounce and then close here, and that's gonna be quite frustrating for me because I had a good trade becoming a bad one, and then going to my direction again after I got stopped out, and that happens. But you know, I don't want to risk more than this. So I move below 34.25. You know, it's not gonna look so good. But for now, it looks like a bullish flag. And if the dollar starts to get steam again, I think this here is very interesting. Last week as well, I told you guys, look, this Canadian is one of the weakest currencies against the dollar. Remember, I told you guys. I think this remains the reason. And if tomorrow we have a strong dollar and weak oil, this here can easily break this flag and starts to move higher. So this one here is it's very interesting to watch what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's going to be on my watch list. So I'm keeping my longs in play. But for now, it looks interesting to see what's going to happen here. But this is the validation area, guys. Okay, because it's a triangle support, 50% fib of a flag that you don't want to see, breaking. And yeah, and here we are. Okay. But one thing you have to note is that this daily it does not look that great. I have to admit, we had quite you can tell this here is a shooting star, good confirmation there. But let's see where we close today. We might close like flat, and then tomorrow if we have a big green candle, it's gonna cancel pretty much. And I think it's gonna put the pressure again to the upside for the next move to come, around this 35.50 area or so. But this here is one of the reasons why to be bearish, not bullish. Just showing you guys what all the sides here of the market for now. Okay, let's go to the dollar Swiss. So the dollar Swiss is another dollar market that is holding quite well and had a really important breakout a few weeks ago. Actually, yeah, 2 weeks ago. Um, we kind of had a triangle happening here, wedge, whatever you want to call it, and then another trend line which hold once, twice, three, four, five, six times this market, and then we finally broke, and here we are, still well above, the first kind of support, which was resistance before, which is 0.128. And this market, guys, it looks very interesting because you can see it's not moving any lower. The euro is making new highs on the day right now, right? Yes, it is. It's making new highs right now. The euro. Let's go back to the euro here. So the euro is making new highs at the moment. Look at that. And look, dollar Swiss. Dollar Swiss, it's actually green in this 4-hour candle, which is quite surprising. So one of them is lying pretty much in my eyes. And last week, the same thing happened, and in the end, was the euro which was lying, and then the euro had a really good squeeze to the downside, isn't it? So that's something to watch. Uh, but dollar is holding very well. This here is one of the currencies, one of the weakest as well, together with the dollar, with the Canadian. So this here is one good pair to watch and buy if you are long and bullish dollar, American dollar. Okay. just because of the way it's acting, the behavior. He's so bullish. Like I just said, that it's quite surprising to see. Okay, so this here is one to watch. And the risk here is very easy to note, right? You don't want to see a move below 0.128, which was, a kind of a double top here. You don't want to see this go, okay? But we are remaining we actually graying on the day. So you don't want to, this is the risk. Anywhere you buy, you have to put your risk below the support area on the dollar Swiss, in my view. Okay, I'm trying to buy this, which I bought last end of last week, very small, which I did, but I really wanted this market to go even lower, so I could buy like in a really good price, and even buy a little bit bigger, but it's not giving any opportunity. So I'm not too sure what's gonna happen here, but looks very strong, very bullish in my eyes. Aussie here, going a little bit higher. Let's have a good work here. So one thing here to note is that it's moving higher with together with a false breakout here, isn't it? This has to be noted. Broke new lows and then closed pretty much with a kind of a indecision candle, like a doji candle, big green candle, and now continuation here. So Aussie, going with a pressure with this first breakout. So my question here is, are we gonna have resistance soon and then it's gonna go back to the lows again, or are we gonna go back to this trend line and then reverse again? That is one of the questions I'm asking myself right now. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what to do here, to be honest with you. What should I do? Uh, but let's have a quick look here. Something else. Let's have a quick work here. Let's delete some lines. Update this chart. The Aussie has not been. It's not. It's not a pair that I have been trading quite frequently. I think the last time I traded was like 6 months ago or so. So I think the first level to watch is this 70-70 level, kind of a 38 to fib level, and see what's gonna happen here. I don't see anything else in this chart. Like I said, it can easily reverse from here, or can easily go up, you know. I'm not too sure, and it's very confusing as well to see this market so strong like this, because if you go to gold, for example, gold is very, very bearish actually. It's not moving higher. So why the Aussie is that strong? That's one of the things. And of course, you can say, okay, equities is strong. That's why. Yeah, it might be. But just equity is strong. This can, squeeze like that. Not too sure. But I don't know. It's not that clear. I would probably wait for a little bit longer. For a better signal of a top here, in my view. On the Aussie. So my question here is: are we gonna go all the way back to the trend line again? Or we're gonna reverse somewhere here? That's the question for me. So when I have two questions like that to myself, I just stay away. Look for something clearer. On the other hand, if you look the QE, this has been holding very well, because today, like, today we are holding, not making new highs or anything like that. If you look the Aussie, if we go back to the Aussie again, you can see, we are nearly breaking to new highs here. Friday breaking Fridays was Friday, isn't it? It's 26. So yeah, Friday's high. So we are not breaking yet Friday's high. And if you look dollar, the QE, it's a little bit away from that. So the QE is not as strong as the Aussie, which is good for any someone that um, is trying to short this market, like me. I have shorts in play on this market. So, but one thing here to notice that we can easily make a new high here overnight, and I'll be watching this channel here, guys. This channel here very closely. It has been treating this market very well. You can see so many touches here, below and above as well. So many squeezes, tops and lows. So it's not gonna surprise me if this can just do that and then reverse. You know, it's gonna surprise me a bit. And another level to watch is the 618, which is at 6705. So this zone here for me, that's why I have this small square there. It's because this area here for me it's really big, and I want to see a reaction from this area, um, to see if we have a top. Okay. So I don't want to see a close above 67 handle. If I do have that, then I have to get away and looking for something else. But so far, it's holding channel. It's not doing so much. Let's see what happens. Still bearish in my eyes. Um, the QE, and it's all about the dollar, in my view. It's all about the dollar here. If I go back to the dollar index, like I said on the euro, um, we are still okay, guys, away from, feel a little bit of a space here at this 38.2 Fibonacci retracement, uh, which is going to be very healthy, from this low to this high, a pullback to here, very healthy for the market to continue moving higher. You can see the RSI dropping, right? Recharging pretty much. And then when the RSI gets to here, can continue moving higher again. It's gonna look something very, very similar to what happened here, to be honest. The market, strong trend, correction, move higher, you know. And if you look here, you can see that, let me delete this. And you can see here that if you put a fib from here to here, the 38 was here, right? You can see it there. So you can see strong trend, correction, 38.2, bounce. So we can easily have something, uh, very similar here as well. 38 to retest, and then a continuation to the upside, right? That's why I have this circle here, because this is the place I want to see some corrections, and it's going to be very interesting as well, because then we're going to have that resistance that we support, which was resistance before, that we don't want to see, going below. So you can see everything is pretty much at the same place here, which it makes our lives a little bit easier to understand. Looks like we had a triangle. Not too sure here. Maybe this can be, we can say this might be looking like a bullish flag, isn't it? I don't know. I might leave it there, but here's the dollar not doing anything. If you look the big picture, you can see it's not making, it's not doing too much. It's just noise for now. So for me, it's all about, can we close below this blue line and then go all the way back below again, or can, finally break this channel for me. I think that's the key here going to tomorrow and for the rest of the week, to be honest. And I think that's all for the majors, right? We saw the QE. Let me see if I finished doing the QE here. Yes, I did. So yeah, so it's all about channel top and the 618. And if we can, break today's low, I think the pressure is gonna start to mount, um, for this pair to go lower again. Gold. Let's see gold, because gold, I have been using this, as you know, as correlation to help me guide to my dollar views, and gold done something very interesting here today. As you can see, Friday we went a little bit above the trend line, but look where we closed. We closed below the trend line. And today, look, the high of today was exactly at the trend line. And look the day we are having so far, big red day. So that's why when I see this dollar move that we are seeing today, this bearish move on the dollar today, I'm not agreeing with that too much. I think it's false. So in my eyes, I think tomorrow or Wednesday, I think we can see strong dollar again, because gold is not confirming that move on the dollar. I might be wrong. Am I wrong here? It's very easy to find out, because this high we made on Friday, If that goes, I think gold is going to squeeze like to here. I really do because I think this test, this reaction we are having today confirms that this trend line is very important. So if we start breaking Friday's high, I think everyone that is shorted today, everyone shorted Friday at these highs is gonna go out. They just gonna get out, and that is gonna squeeze gold higher. Okay, and that's gonna go automatically with the dollar index as well. If you think about it, if I go back to the dollar index here, it's going to be the same thing, right? If the dollar breaks below the zone, and close below, everyone that bought it, including myself, I'm gonna get out, and then this thing, guys, can easily come here again. Okay, that's my view here. I'm keeping things simple. So I'm gonna be very interesting and and my eyes very close on this dollar and gold, okay, together to see, because now it's a bit easier to understand. I move above Friday's high, squeeze higher here, and if we continue and tomorrow we have another big red day, we're gonna go, somewhere here at least, or even lower, like somewhere 1240 or something. So keeping things very simple here to understand what's gonna happen next, but I'm loving this action on gold today. I really am. It confirms that this market retested the triangle and the bears are trying to get the fully control again on this gold market. And so far, so good. Gold is not getting any single bounce, even with this dollar move that it's happening right now. So that's very surprising for me. Very surprising for me. Let me check something because euro was going a little bit higher. So you can see here, euro is pretty much doing the same thing as gold did, isn't it? A triangle breakout, retest. Can we now tomorrow have a big red day? Possible, possible. Okay, we are, guys, at very interesting levels. Very interesting levels. So that's gold, right? Very interesting gold to see. Very interesting. Uh, and something very interesting is that it was 50% correction and the 1.618 extension from this last move lower here. Fib extension exactly to the pip. Very good there on gold. So let me delete this. Yeah, let's keep that for now. Let me add this just to use as a point of reference. And you can see we are pretty much at kind of at support area. So 1 second, guys. There we go. Oh, delete that. So there we go. Let's have a quick look on silver. Let's see what silver did. So silver, guys, very interesting as well. Very interesting. I think the most important trend. I think 4 hour is enough. I think. So the 4 hour here, we had, guys, a very clear trend line working this market here. No question about it. One, two, three. You might say this is fourth and five. Five tests on this trend line, and silver couldn't break it. And here we are. And then we had like a kind of a wedge kind of looking move, isn't it? And here we are. So silver as well, not looking that bullish, isn't it? Not looking as so bullish in my eyes. I think a big rejection here, trend line. And tomorrow, guys, we break this low here. I think this is gonna go. Okay, I think that's gonna go. So keep an eye on this 14.84 on silver, because I think if that goes, and this is the 25th, so I think this is last Friday's low. So if this goes, guys, I think you're gonna have another good retest of this 1470 area again. Okay, on the silver market in my eye. So very easy here as well. Trend line, support. Which one's gonna break. Um, the one breaks first. I think that's where the action is gonna take place on the silver. And let's have a quick look here somewhere else. So daily. daily chart, same thing. Big rejection today on silver. You can see, looks. You might say this is a false breakout here, isn't it? And yeah, it can be. So even another reason to be even more bearish silver. You know, false breakouts most of the time leads to big moves, right? So that's how it is. And if silver guys start breaking these wicks here, I'm gonna keep an eye on this 14.40 area or so on silver. First target and then the second at this lows 114 again. 14 level, sorry. Um, those are the two levels, to keep an eye if this 14.70 goes. So yeah. So let's have a quick look somewhere else. So S&P guys making new record highs. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm very surprised. This is where it is. I have to say, if you have asked me like a month ago, 2 months ago, anywhere between November and like last week, if I thought this market was going to make a new high this year, I think I would probably say no. I wouldn't think so, but look where it is. Very, very interesting. But something to note here, looks like we have kind of a rising wedge kind of move. So if tomorrow, for some reason, I'm not saying it's gonna happen or I'm gonna trade because I'm not gonna trade this, but if tomorrow, guys, we have like a big red candle like that, like it's gonna be very interesting to watch, isn't it? Because that's going to confirm that this rising wedge is in play and is so strong. But for now, guys, we are breaking new highs. It's turning more bullish. And that's the theme, right? That's the dangerous thing. Everyone's turning now bullish, like the rest. The retail, the retail market is so bullish. It's turning so bullish right now, which is quite interesting to note. Let me see here if I can find something. There is a link. No, it's. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. This COT data, kind of. Let me see if I can find. Let's see if there is the. Oh, it's just forex market. This one, I think. Oh, no stocks. Here we go. So the stocks, so Dow Jones, Nasdaq. Here we go. So look at that. So it's increasing. The bullish are increasing their positions, like they're turning very bullish, and that's the worrying thing. You're turning bullish now. Why you didn't turn bullish like when we were at 2680 or something? So I don't know, but I'm keeping away from this market. I'm keeping away this market um, for now. Okay. Here we go. So Nasdaq. Let's see, does not if there is anything there. Nasdaq not making new highs at the moment. We still need to break Wednesday, no, Thursday highs, but very close. We can easily break that tomorrow. Dow Jones still away, not making new highs just here. We still kind of a little bit of a space left on the Dow Jones. Do I see anything interesting here? Not yet. Not yet. Um, Not yet. I was actually monitoring this trend line here, as you can see, which we had like 3, 4 touches, and then we broke, but you know, not follow through as much as I was expecting. So this can easily go back to the highs as well. DAX. DAX is something to note actually. The DAX, I'm not even talking about the lagging thing because you know that, but look, the RSI. The RSI is 76. The last time we were at this highs was like here, which was at this highs, and you can see the market corrects quite a bit. So the DAX here, I'm not too sure. what to do. I wouldn't buy here. Looks very, very stretched. And if you look the weekly, we you can see that we are the 618, pretty much, and just above the 200 moving average. So this area, I think it's key for the DAX. So I wouldn't buy DAX here in my view. I wouldn't. So that's my idea there on the DAX. And I think that's all, guys. You have anything else to for me to keep an eye? Have a quick look. Let's see some dollar exotic pair. So let's see the dollar against the Mexican peso. So this one he's taking forever to do something very interesting, but looks like we are building kind of a triangle here, isn't it? Yeah, something like this. Probably it's happening. A wedge. So if this breaks, guys, we can see a good move, which can lead all the way back, above 220 level. But for now, not so much there. Let's see the against the knock. So this knock. Okay. So the knock has pretty much a double top here, which important level there to note. Um, good area here, and then looks like we had like a kind of a trend line here, isn't it? Which we broke and leads to this 4 days in green. But here right now, do I see any doing anything here? No. Let's do again. Oh, the dollar sex is breaking out. Well, yeah, this is breaking quite aggressively. Yeah, and we can see that if we add a trend line here, you know, didn't even reach the trend line, just went straight away. Interesting. Dollar against the Turkish lira. Okay, this one had a big, massive bounce, right? And then we got in kind of a channel, and now here we are turning very slow to the upside, but nothing here which is tradable in a sense, right? Let's see against the Brazilian real. Okay, so we had a triangle here which we broke, and yeah, so if we break this level here, guys, which you can see it's very important all the way back here, isn't it? So if we break this blue line, guys, it's gonna go back to 420 again, looks like it. And I think that's all. Yeah, guys, I think that's all for today. So like we saw together, keep an eye on this dollar index. You know, is the move higher finished? Is this it? You know, we need to see a move below 97.69 and a close below that to confirm that this bullish market is over. Keep an eye on the golds. Gold is not confirming this move on the dollar today. So use this one as well as a point of reference. You can use gold or silver, both of them pretty much looking very bearish in the short term. And yeah, and I think the dollar is going to be a great, I think the currency that's going to move quite a lot this week with the data and all this technical happening, around the dollar itself, and other markets which correlates to. So I think that's all, guys, that I have to share today. Oh, one member is asking for New Zealand Canadian. Okay, this is one that I never traded, I think, in my life. So let's start by looking at the long picture here. Let's clear. There we go. Okay. So the weekly chart looks like we have a really important trend line here, which we tagged a few weeks back. very clear. And we have a really important support area here. So, and I think, of course, we are holding here. There is some support here as well, of course. Um, if you put a fib from here to here, let's see how much he correlates. Okay, so he corrects the 38 to, okay, so looks like a reasonable correction there to the downside. And and the and very interesting here. And a very interesting thing here that we have to note is that it looks like a false breakout here, right? Looks like a false breakout here. But that's pretty much it. It can easily go drop tomorrow. I don't know. I think okay, so let's see the 4 hour here. I don't know what to see. But one thing is, these are the two most weakest currencies out there. One of the weakest. So I'm not too sure what to do here. Because if it was New Zealand against maybe the cable, like for example, using one strong, one weak makes a little bit more sense. And by the way, every QE pair that you look at, it looks like a first breakout, isn't it? This one here looks as well a first breakout here. If we look, let's see, New Zealand yen. So this one it's bouncing. We have to watch this level here, guys. By the way, support can turn now resistance. New Zealand. Let's see the Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand had a quite a good drop here. Mm, yeah, this one's confusing. I'm not sure what to do here as well. I don't know. I don't know. What I see is that I don't know. I don't like to go that far with cross pairs, but personally, I don't see anything. There is a chance for this to go lower or higher. There's no confirmation. Only thing I see here is the first breakout, but that's too early to tell. And yeah, one thing, yeah, and even if you want to go long now, it's so far from the low. It's not tradable in my view. Yeah, but if you want to short, you know, hell yeah, you have to feel risk here. That's for sure. Okay, guys, I think that's all I have for today. Um, Double top on the daily. You mean these two double tops here? Yeah, I think he's asking about these two. Yeah, but even if that is, you have to wait for this neckline to break, which we still didn't break. And and yeah, and it's not my favorite formation to trade, to be honest. Um, but still, you have to wait for this neckline to break and close below, and give you that extra confirmation. Which it still doesn't have in here, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Look, there are so many markets more clear than this, a lot clearer than this. Yeah, in my view. And before I go, let's have a quick look on dollar Canadian here. So dollar Canadian, still holding here. Yeah. So let's see what happened here. This one is clear. We know where support is. We know we had a triangle which we can use as support. possible flag, you know, and you can use correlation as well to help you guide. Oh, and we haven't looked oil, have we? So let's have a quick look on oil. So oil, you can see that we are holding, and why not? A channel bottom pretty much. So and I have the drawings from the last live session. So this here, I know that this where my stop loss is on my shorts, and you can see oil is holding a channel support. So you know what to do, right? Use these lows as risk. If this breaks, guys, oil is going to start moving very aggressively lower. In my views here, um, it's going to look very good. So yeah, okay. So yeah, so oil, guys, good reaction from last week going to this week. Um, but still, I think I need one more. I need to see the channel break, like a really good move lower here. So just to confirm, I have a top. I'm 50, 60% certain that we have a top, that this high here is the top on the short term. But I just need one more just to give me that extra piece, extra confirmation. So tomorrow can be that day, or Wednesday, big red day, break this 62.30, and then, guys, then we're gonna go, you know. Yeah, but it's working. Trade is going. Trade is good. It's doing very good now. And patient is playing the price because bloody hell, took so long for this here to do something, and then we broke high again. So yeah, so that's how it is. And yeah, guys, and I think that's all we have for today. So keep an eye on oil, dollar index, especially gold to help you out. Let's see if we have that continuation to the upside on the dollar index. Um, and see how it goes. And keep in mind, guys, always check this calendar because this week we're gonna have data every single day, important data coming out. So never forget to check this out before you start trading because it's gonna be a very, very busy week. And I think that's all, guys. Thanks so much for being here. This is gonna be recorded, so if you want to watch it again, just come back to my channel and watch it when you're free. Please don't forget to give your like, subscribe to my channel to help me out, and I hope you have a great week, guys. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you guys shortly. Take care. Bye bye.